I am still alive, and today we're going to look at a game between Alliance and Nigma. In particular, we're going to look at FNG, who's playing Chen and standing in for Alliance, and we're going to look at how they managed to win the early game and the early mid game.
Lessons that cannot be unlearned.
So I know I haven't posted a video for a long time. That's because I've been working on a big guide to Visage, going through basically everything you need to know about Visage, and that has taken a lot longer than I thought. So I'm going to post that video pretty soon, but for now I'm making this fairly quick video here just to prove to you that I'm still alive. So we have Chen here and Riki in the top lane. It is the off lane, but it is still a position 5 Chen and a position 1 Riki. So Riki, of course, buying a lot of very efficient stat items here, as well as Venom. This allows him to fight really efficiently. And then Chen bought a Headress, a Tango, which he shared out 2, and then a Essential Ward which he placed here to make sure that his camp is not blocked and maybe find an Observer Ward here. But he doesn't find anyone, but he is able to take over this Boby, also known as a Treant, from Nature's Prophet. So this is a great deal. Prophet level 1, he spawns 2 Treants, and you take over 1, so you get 1 Treant, he gets 1 Treant. You spend less mana than he spent, 90 mana versus 130 mana, and your Treants also better. They get bonus damage, 8 bonus damage, and also 10 movement speed extra. So you just have the better Treants, and you just get the much better deal here out of these level 1 skills. So normally Nature's Prophet are very, very strong laner at the start of the game because his Treants are so strong. But if you can just take over half the Treants, obviously Nature's Prophet becomes a lot less potent, and that is a big part of the reason why this lane so far is fairly even. Because normally you'd expect Nature's Prophet to win big at level 1. They just see this Elo Titan getting the shrine back, so they're going to go on Nature's Prophet, even though he's alone, so he can TP out, that's fine, but at least they forced this 90 gold TP, as well as of course costing a bunch of mana, and this gives them a big advantage in lane. Right now Chen has taken over one of these range creeps, and I'm not sure I agree with that, at least doing this so early. It just deprives the Riki of experience. But of course these range groups are great at fighting against Nature's Prophet's Treants, because Treants take bonus damage, because these range creeps do piercing damage and they have normal armor, so you do 150% damage against those. But at the same token, these range creeps are not particularly good against heroes because they only do half damage. But now with these 2 range creeps online, he can do a lot of farming, a lot of last hitting and denying, which is going to come into play pretty soon. So he's pulled this camp here, and with the help of these range creeps, he can very easily get those last hits because he just do so much damage with both of these range creeps. And yeah, Nature's Prophet comes in to try to contest, but you see how fast these Treants die. So the wave is in a pretty good position right now for our Riki. He can farm safely here and try to catch up on levels because he's not yet level 4. Actually slightly behind the Chen in experience. So Chen is going to give Riki this lane now, and with these 2 range groups he can easily lead some jungle camps, and that's what he's going to do. And this just gives himself a bunch of experience, and also helps out the Riki, who can actually lane fairly well. Riki has a lot of regen, and he still has a bunch of tangos, so he's fine there on his own for a while. And as Chen, he can redo these camps really efficiently with those 2 range creeps. It's almost never good to jungle at level 1 as Chen these days, or level 2, because you can only take over these smaller creeps, so you just don't do enough damage to those creeps to justify leaving the lane. But once you're level 3 and you have like 2 range creeps or 2 equivalent creeps, it's actually fairly fast jungling, so this can often be a good play if your carry can stay in lane on his own for a while. And of course this means Riki's going to get fewer last hits and so on, but he's also getting more experience, and it's really important on Riki to get experience. Level 6 is a big power spike, and it's important to get to that level 6 as early as possible. Now he's level 5, he gets a Valving Ripper, which is not the best creep, but it's a level 5 creep. That's fine. And now he can head back to lane. He farmed this entire triangle. He's now level 5, so is Riki. And you can see how efficient this farming was. He got as much experience as this Riki alone in his lane. And now he's also going to be able to take over this Hellbear Smasher, stacking the camp in the process. And now he actually has a pretty good creep army. And this Elder Titan level 3 thinks he can run in here, but he is in for a surprise. And he doesn't quite die here. Barely survives with Fairy Fire here, but he almost died and didn't get anything accomplished. But now Chen is getting a bit too cocky here. He's being engaged by 3 players. He has no tangos and he gets sucked dry and dies. But he manages to escape with his creeps, and he's just back to farming with those creeps and using Thunderclap, please. It's a bit late on that. You should definitely be spamming out this ability, because these creeps, they almost never run out of mana. So just use this ability whenever it's on cooldown. It's only 12-second cooldown. Don't be shy at using that. So they're defending this tower now with a tornado, with Centaur porting in, and they're going to try to get this Pugna. Pugna uses his sucking abilities here and gets a lot of damage onto Nikobaby, but eventually he's going to die. And Monkton also in trouble. FNG now joining the fight again, and they get a double kill here and defend the tower. Very nicely done. So they want to pressure the top tower here, so Nikobaby is going to pull this creep wave into this camp, and meanwhile Chen can start attacking this tower with his creeps. These creeps, actually these big creeps do hero damage, so they're not as good against towers as you might think, but they're still pretty good. They still do a lot of damage, especially with the bonus damage that you get as Chen. So this tower falls quite quickly, and meanwhile Riki can TP and help out in mid, and we're gonna try to get some nice kills here. Kuroki dies for his insults and Limp survives, so another nice fight there for Alliance. So at this stage of the game, Alliance are the significantly stronger team. You have this Miracle carry Phantom Lancer, who's doing really well. He's top of the net worth. He almost has his Differ Blades finished, but even so, a Phantom Lancer, he has 1100 HP, he can't really fight right now. Whereas this Riki is just a much higher tempo hero. He comes online much faster, even though he is a bit further away from having his Diffu finished. He's still the much stronger hero at this stage of the game. Then of course they also have this very farmed Chen. He already has a mech and boots at 12 minutes. He's top of the net worth in terms of supports. He gets killed here, which has been unfortunate, but yeah, it's not the biggest of deals. But of course it's still a nice gold swing for Nigma. But yeah, this Nigma lineup, they have Pugna, who is pretty good at fighting early, but he's very poor. This Pugna, like, he's very far down the net worth ladder. And then they have this Mind Control. Nature's Prophet is also a strong early game hero, but he also hasn't had a good game. So at this point, Alliance really much stronger, and they want to force the issue. Even though FNG has died twice, he's always made a point of preserving his creeps. So he still has a pretty strong creep army online. It's a bit unfortunate to have 2 Wildwing Rippers. They are, of course, do good right-click damage, but a big part of the attraction is the toughness aura, which doesn't stack, obviously. So it's not the best to have 2 of these, and now he can trade that in against a Dark Cross Summoner, and he's going to use that to go into Mind Control. Here is the second net in a second, and there we go, and this allows S4 to catch up and get the kill. I'm not the biggest fan of FNG's item build. It's important to get that mech early, but I don't like the lack of any sort of supporting items aside from that. I get at least a stick, I think is just really efficient item, and maybe something like a Windlace. But he's just going straight for that Guardian Greaves. That's the item we want, and that's the item he's going to go for. And another fight here, Nikobaby being engaged, and doesn't manage to dodge that stun, but it's no big deal. The Miracle is rather low here, so Nikobaby can jump in here and force Miracle to go back. And in this fight, as Chen, you just want to run in with your creeps. At this stage of the game, the creeps are still very strong. The enemy can't really kill the creeps very easily, so they just drive people back with those creeps. And you can't really catch up to people generally with the creeps, but at least the creeps are going to force people to respect it. They force the enemy team to back off, and that is good enough here to take this objective. And now they're continuing the chase here. Pugna being engaged, and Pugna is going to die. Now they find this huge stack here. I'm not sure who they were making this stack for. None of the Nigma heroes are particularly good at taking stacks, but Alliance have this Centaur who was really good against his creeps, especially with the Vanguard. Really tank those creeps and just do so much damage with the Retaliate. So they clean up this entire stack, and now they're in a comfortable lead. And Nigma want to do something about this, want to contest here, but they can't really, and they see this right away. But Kuro is still in trouble. He's being chased down by Limp and is going to get killed. Nikobaby survives thanks to all the heal from Chen, but unfortunately Chen a bit low on mana, but now he has mana boots, so it's not a problem. And they can chase this Pugna down. Pugna trying to suck something, but it's not going to work. And that is another excellent fight. And from here on out, Alliance are just going to continue playing fairly solidly, some questionable plays in there, but with this big early game lead, they're going to ride out this game and eventually win. I'm not going to cover the entire game because it's rather anticlimactic. It's most of them just keeping their lead for like another 30 minutes and then eventually winning. So I'm going to include the game ID in the description if you want to watch the rest of the game. But for now, I'm going to sign off, and I'm going to remind you that I'm going to put out this comprehensive Visage guide pretty soon, so if you don't want to miss that, please subscribe to this channel and ring the bell button so you get notified when the video is posted. And in the meantime, I'm going to leave you with these two great Chen games for your perusal, and always willing, I'll see you there.